Prime Minister Modi's high-profile visit to Russia. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he arrived in Moscow on a two-day visit to Russia for the 22nd India-Russia Annual Summit, during which he will hold summit talks with President Vladimir Putin to review all the aspects of bilateral ties and explore opportunities to further boost cooperation in sectors like trade, energy and defense. It is Prime Minister Modi's first trip to Russia in nearly 5 years. His last visit to Russia was in 2019 when he attended an economic conclave in the Far East city of Vladivostok. Prime Minister Modi, Vladimir Putin meeting will see the world media, including the Chinese, zeroing in on the high-profile meeting that is bound to have a wide geopolitical impact in the region. And Vasudha joins us to get us more from Moscow. Vasudha, there is dinner, there is dosti and diplomacy. What is the significance of this visit by Prime Minister Modi?
Well, Osama, the meeting started about an hour ago. Remember, it's around 8:30 p.m. in Russia and Moscow right now. And Prime Minister did reach President Putin's residence, which is in the suburbs of Moscow. And of course, a spread was laid out, and the meeting is going on right now. It reminded me of the visuals of Joe Biden's, private dinner that was also hosted by the U.S. President in 2023 when Prime Minister Narendra Modi went on a state visit to US. So this is a clear message that India is being quoted by two superpowers of the world, and India has options now. At the same time, it also shows the kind of global importance that India has to play, and of course the responsibility that has, which reminds me the kind of stuff that is on agenda when it comes to this very important meeting between President Vladimir Putin and also Narendra Modi. Now remember, this is the first meeting first visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Russia after the Russia-Ukraine war broke out. This is a serious war. In fact, it is a full-fledged war that has seen a lot of casualties. In fact, the number runs into thousands, and the world is looking for a solution. What we know for sure is that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to talk about it. That's definitely on the table. While Russia has been calling it a special military operation, India has been specifically emphasizing on the importance of dialogue. It is going to talk about that consistently, and it is going to bring about this belief that the solutions of anything cannot be found on the battlefield. In fact, both sides have to sit across the table and talk it out. That is something that Prime Minister will bring out in this meeting as well. Remember, in 2022, on the sidelines of the SCO summit in Uzbekistan, it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi who had famously remarked that this is not the era of war, which in some ways became the central theme of the G20 presidency that India hosted, and which also led to the consensus of the statement. While India has not really condemned Russia in any of its positioning, it has always emphasized on the importance of dialogue. So that is going to be there. Well, this dinner is also important because it shows the importance that Russia places on India right now, for Russia to reclaim its lost influence and power, and also get credibility, at a time when increasingly it is getting isolated, alienated from a world and being treated as a pariah. This is very important that the leader of the largest democracy of the world, India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is visiting Moscow. In fact, he has chosen Moscow as the first city, Russia as the first country to visit for his bilateral visit after he assumed charge as the Prime Minister of the country for the third time. So clearly important day ahead tomorrow, where a lot of high-level meetings will take place, restricted level talks with industry, economy on agenda, and most importantly also the early release of those Indians who had been duped into fighting on Russian front lines. That is also something that India will bring up in these meetings, is what we hear.